If you're watching this video, then you obviously want to improve your content, right? You want to get more sales, you want to get more attention, you want to get more trust, and you actually want to learn how to go viral. You want to make videos actually worth your time and have a system backed behind it. And this is exactly what I'm going to be teaching you in this video. I'm going to show you exactly how the visual intelligence system works, the cause of it, everything in depth, completely transparently. I'm not even gonna waste your time with the intro. Let's just get right into it. So this is built for teams and brands at any large, at any scale. It could be no team, it could be a big team. And the whole benefit of this system and why I built is because I got sick of watching brands look at agencies in terms of ads, in terms of clipping, and they're just getting scammed by them because they don't really have any backing. They sound like everybody else. They have the same templates like everybody else. So there's no real worth value into what you're actually buying. And obviously they sell a monthly retainer, right? So you're wasting that money where it could be pushed into a different source of income that will provide a lot more higher ROI, just like the system. So the first thing I really want to explain here is the left side on the screen, the payload. Now the payload is pretty much the place where you can upload all your content on social media, because this is exactly how you can find out what works in terms of what content you put out, long form and short form. But you can also see the data from this, which gets pushed into the system itself. So what works, the data and the system, it gets all pushed into this system right here, right? And that tracks everything, including every single metric they need to get views from. So that's including every single watch time, retention, likes, comments, everything, right? But also it tracks the behavioral response of the viewers. So how did they react to that video? Your ICP is really valuable, but we're also able to understand why the algorithm, such as Instagram, such as TikTok, actually push this video out to a bunch of people, right? Once we understand this data, then we can just double down and not double down on things that don't work. And that's what a lot of people don't really get. Yes, you can use analytics platforms like vidIQ, you can use Instagram vid, and that's just not going to provide you all the insights. You really need to figure out in depth exactly every insight, and it's very hard to track that manually, and it takes so much time. So this way it's so much more automated, it saves you a lot more time, and it outputs it all directly into a system called the Golden Wheel OS, right? And this system exactly sees what videos did well, and it tracks those videos, right? And it uses only the links on that video, let's say there's 10, into an IG filter, tracks them, puts them out into each little section. So then it's able to see what worked in each one. It labels that. So then we have all this data in one big space into the links. We can see exactly what worked. We have all the metrics. We have absolutely everything. It stores it there. And that's exactly what happens in the payload here for YouTube, for Instagram, for Facebook, TikTok, literally any platform you want to push it out. It could even be not even related on social media. It could be a completely different platform, right? But the second thing is what it allows you to do is see the momentum, right? A lot of creators might go viral, right? And the biggest problem they ever have to going viral is they risk the momentum of falling off, right? And when you fall off or when you lose that momentum, you can't bring it back so easily, right? So this is the way of us making sure it's a longevity brand. So let's say for example, Mr. Beast, right? He blew up to 10 mil subscribers and literally like a 3-month ratio, right? Then after maybe, let's say 2 weeks, right? He started dying down. His views got lower. His momentum started going lower. His audience started going lower. And he basically lost always 10 million subscribers who are active. And now he has about like 4 million. So that means it's a lot more harder for him to grow his brand into 20 million, right? Because the algorithm relies on your audience engagement when you post videos. Because if you post a video and your audience reacts very badly to that video, then algorithm is going to look at this and go, no, it's not going to get pushed out to this many people, right? It's only going to push it out to this many people right here, right? So that's why it's really important keeping momentum, because you need to figure out what has been working on your page and what things you should start posting and what things you should include, and uniqueness. Because you always risk as a creator to have repetitive content on all different platforms until the point where you've just milked each repetitive format you have, where the audience just gets sick of it. And then they're moving to this creator because he's more unique, this creator because he's more unique, this one because he's more unique, right? And then moving to all these other creators, and they're literally forgetting about you right here. They're forgetting about you because there are so many other creators putting out different sort of content, and you really have to compete with the algorithm to able to compete with the momentum from other creators. So that's why it's really important keeping momentum. And this is exactly what it does automatically. It allows you to track the data, the momentum, and build strategies for this. So now getting into the actual system of things, the brand identity counterintelligence. I'm not even going to waste your time to this video, right? The brand identity counterintelligence, basically what this allows you to do is, one, you can input your exact brand, right? Exact brand, everything about the brand. So let's say it's the audience, let's say it's the aesthetic, let's say it's also the voice of the brand, let's say it's also your, let's say how you want to create videos, so uniqueness, right? And it's a bunch of other things as well. You input everything into this section here and it'll come up with a bunch of text. It will show you exactly what inputs and data to put into in dot points. So that way, what the system does, it's able to basically read this information in each section that's dot pointed in here, and it's specifically dot pointed, and it's going to analyze this through our backend system of the system. So it's going to look at each one, it's going to go to the system, then it's going to understand this and analyze it. So each one is analyzed, it's understood, and it has a very rarity of completion. So it's 100% success, right? And then after this, once it understands this, it's going to reprogram itself to be tailored towards you. So let's say, for example, Mr. Beast, it's going to reprogram it to Mr. Beast. So then it's going to be tailored towards being Mr. Beast, right? So then once that's been put in here, then you're going to do your customer behavior acquisitions. So what that means is the ICP, right? Your ICP, yes, they will love entertainment, right? They absolutely love watching entertainment. But what is the deeper reason of wanting to watch this content that you post? What is their deeper reasoning? So that's the way of us finding out, right? And their deeper reasoning may be because they can forget about this problem. They can forget about having this in their life. Maybe they want to feel some dopamine in their life, right? Maybe they just really enjoy your videos as a creator that you are, right? So understanding their direct ICP will allow us to highly target these people in every single post we do on social media, because that goes for all platforms. You push these videos out on all platforms and it works for every single platform. So then once we have hyper targeted videos directly to your ICP, plus for the algorithm to also push this out to this many people on this niche, right? Then this comes very powerful, because not only you're going to get more followers from this, not only are you going to get more sales, but you're going to get more trust. And trust is the biggest key thing in the market right now. Everybody is crying for. So that's really, really important to understand. But let's go into the algorithm mechanisms. And exactly what that means into the algorithm mechanisms is, let's say you want to see exactly what's working for you in your hooks, right? And you only got 3 hooks. You got a speech, you got a text type hook, and then you got a storytelling hook. So it outputs these hooks into your hooks that you've used in your videos with the links of each video that you've had with the transcript of that hook as well. So then you're able to use these hooks for yourself and double down on them, because the automation in the system has input them in there for you to use. Then from a bunch of other competitors it's stolen from, it's able to look at exactly what hooks they've used and input this into their system with their name in each one, with the link in each one, but then also it's able to put the exact transcript in each one. So that way you already have viral hooks able to use for each video that you're next going to create, and they're created better in your own tailored version, because the system has understood exactly who your ICP is, and has also exactly understood what your brand identity counterintelligence is. So that way each video is very tailored towards you, and you can use these hooks in your own personal ways. So it's not stealing like a thief, it's stealing like an artist. Now, once that is done, it's able to look at behavioral response logs from each post that you made. So let's say you have 1, 2, 3 posts, and you want to look at each competitor, each audience that interacted from these videos. So that way, when we want to look at, okay, for example, this video, how did the audience react to this? Positive. How did this one look? Negative. This one, positive. So then we understand, okay, the audience liked this one, it didn't like this one, but it liked this one. And this one converted this, and this one converted this and this into sales. This one did followers. This one just did a bunch of attention. So then we're able to double down exactly on what the audience likes. So that meaning each video is hyperly engineered for the next one. So then each video just gets 100 times better, right? So that's a really important. And then every single bi-weekly or weekly, I'm hopping on calls with your team and yourself, literally consulting you for completely free on how to use this entire system. Completely free. To use this system and integrate it with your entire team. If you have a team of 100 people, I'm talking to those 100 people to consult them exactly how to use each section they need to have as an accountability role. and yourself as a creator. If you don't understand how to record videos, I am teaching you how to record videos, because as myself, as a creator, it's very important to actually know how to create videos, not with just setting up the camera, but talking, right? So it's very, very important. So I always do that completely free. Now, that's the left side of things, right? Let's talk about the Visual Intelligence System 3.0, right? So the first thing you see here is the Golden Rule OS. Now you're thinking, okay, Ollie, what is this? You know, what are you cooking up? Well, the Golden Rule OS is my own methodology that I've been using for the last couple of years now. And it's actually that is used in a real world situation, right? But its analogy is also working in the social media game as well. So this is very private to me. I'm not going to like share so much about it, because if I did, there's probably going to be a bunch of agencies covering this method, right? And I don't want to have that happen. It's only available to me and my clients. So what I would say is it basically loses the transaction of everything that anybody has ever told you about social media, and it rewised the creator's brain, but also everybody in the team, to understand there's only one and specific strategy, because this is the only strategy that ever works for videos. And Mr. Beast uses it. Literally the biggest content creators in the world use it with millions of subscribers. So this is exactly each video that it's used in. And each video here in each deployment has used your brand identity counterintelligence. It's used your customer behavior acquisitions, your ICP. It's used your algorithm mechanisms from competitors. And it's used all your data from YouTube if it's a long form video. And it's used all your data from Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok from short form videos to create the best, better tailored version of your content compared to all your competitors. So the people who you are reaching out to will like this content more, who would engage with it more, who would follow it from it more, and he would make more trust, sales, and conversions from more. So then each one is highly engineered, and it's not based off gambling or luck, because if you learn actually from this video, engineering a video and putting all these in combined, then it's going to create a viral video. Viral videos are not luck, from my whole experience, my whole career. And then for the visual perception warfare, what we're doing is we're pre-positioning the brand in it, because everybody has this red tinted glass in the world where they see there's only one concept. So let's say if you were born as a kid and you only believe there's one single thing, that watermelon was absolutely horrible, you live that way the whole entire life. But what we're doing is we're reprogramming and repositioning the brand to deploy truth at content at scale. So that way we're sharing this truth to this audience of people who absolutely hate watermelon for the entire life. Now we're going to reprogram them by engineering the influence, so perceived value faster than any legacy brand can react. And this all embeds into the content where the algorithm creates, and also the algorithm suppression. So this allows us to reprogram the audience to understand this is something they need without selling them or cold actioning them some bullshit stuff. So then once we push videos out, we go into surveillance reporting, which is all automatic, by the way. Nothing in here that as a brand or any creator you touch, except literally recording videos in this section. Everything else is automated and it's made for that, but highly efficient scaling, because every single week you're following this method where it's already engineered all the ideations, everything. It's tracked 1,000 to 2,000 videos, all in the niche, all in your industry, to figure out what the best video is for you to make. And it gives you that. So all you need to do is press record on your phone or camera, and I've literally told you how you should record that video and it consulted you on it. So anyway, in the surveillance reporting, it basically looks at the video that was posted on your page. It uses very specific KPI addresses and a whole bunch of automation in the back that's super complicated. I would get into it, but it's able to look at the watch time, the feedback scroll analytics, the behavior response logs, and any real-time combat adjustments. So that it's not just doing it once, it's looking at the adjustments every single couple of days. So there's updating it. So you don't need to figure out, oh, is this like, you know, updated or not? Yes, it is updated. So that's important, because videos can go viral, you know, in the next couple of months. So that's what it does, and it tracks all those metrics, so then we're able to double down, you know, like I said, on Facebook, Instagram, and stuff like that, short form. So basically what happens if you said, yes, let's absolutely do this, I'm going to work with this system now. Basically, you record a video, it will go into this. So I'd say it records a video right here. It will go into captured. When you record that video and captured, then it's going to go into this it's going to go to Google Drive. Once it's in the Google Drive, it's then going to go into an editing process, which then will be in edited. So then it will go into calibration, then it's distributed on the page, and then it will be in surveillance, right? So that way, all you're doing is this first step right here, and it's automated the rest. Nothing in your whole entire life will be ever easier than this for making content. So that's literally how the system works. And I'll even show you like a live example of something right here. This is exactly how I've been able to make this very, very important, not just for meta ads, but also exactly how I should be doing this for organic. It's viral, which means anyone can watch this. It's personal. It means it's authentic. It's unique, which means it's not generic. It has value, which means it's perceived, but it's also saved as people want to learn more. It has authority, so status, and it has a lot of transparency, which gives a lot of trust. So I can push this on meta ads, and then it will get a lot more attention through the content, with audience and everything, and blah, 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 right? But this is exactly what the system helps with, so you don't have to figure anything of that out. All you need to do is follow what the system basically told you into input with that, because everything else is done in the back end manually to be done for that we set up for this phase. So this literally takes max like 7-8 days to pretty much fully set up, and from there onwards you never need to touch this. You never need to look into, okay, is it working? Because that just doesn't make sense. As an agency, you shouldn't be allowing your clients to be working in with like the editors or anything. Because myself, I work as a complete individual with this system, and it allows me to have the most efficient scaling process ever, because I'm working directly with the brand owner, right? And then I'm also directly working with the team. So that way I don't need to have a bunch of team members behind me, blah, 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 working in this and this and this. No, that's not how it works. It's just me and the brand owner and the system, and that's it. But when we do scale that fast, where the point where I just can't handle any of the workload and I'm just like, dude, what the hell? Then I am going to bring in a highly qualified team of mine who are going to handle certain parts. Like it could be from the editing, could be from the designing, it could be from the sales stuff. So that way I'm efficiently able to scale you even further, to the point where we're able to pretty much pull this out into a point where we went from 0 followers to literally 10K, right? In a matter of like a week. And that's very possible, by the way. You can literally do this, very, very possible. So that's why the system is very, very powerful for anything combining with content, conversions, sales, trust, because there is nothing like this. Either I might just be blind, but there's nothing like this on the content space, or industry space, or agency space, or even on the market that I've ever seen that's highly developed. Because in the last 3 years, I've actually taken my time to put every single effort, work in to make this the best possible system, because I don't want to sell some social media package or agency type stuff, right? I actually want to change the game, and I want to provide people the proven solutions without having any trust issues, without having any shit results, having to do refunds because the agency's done this and this, right? No, I'm 100% success rate with this. I've never failed a client in my life, right? So the whole point for this video is to really understand anything that's possible content if you have the right team, me, and the right system in place. If you do not have a system like this in place, then likely you're going to have a limit to the ceiling of how far you can really scale, or how far you can really get to with that person in your team. Because you really need to have someone who knows their shit back to front, not just some dude who's charging you 4K a month for this and this and this and this. No, right? If he was actually serious, he would put a lot more effort into what he stands behind. So yeah, if you're watching this, I really do recommend like take this video in, because I really want to explain this to everybody. And even if you found this valuable, I'm going to be dropping like a lot more source on like how to get like to 1 million followers, how to build momentum, how to create a brand that lasts a long time but also doesn't fall off as well, and just a bunch more other stuff in terms of just growing content and how to record content, why this works, why it doesn't. So I just want to get this first video out so you guys can really understand how the system works. And honestly, if you are interested in doing this for your brand, like you can obviously DM me on Instagram and you can request this. I'm not like selling it like publicly. I'm actually only doing it by request. So agencies or anybody can't really like scam me out of like doing this, because I don't want to sell this to somebody who will just leak this all around the internet, right? Because this is very, very private. This is very, very insane. Like it's that good. So yeah, you can DM me on Instagram if you want to actually integrate this, or if you just like to know more information, and that's totally cool. But yeah, honestly, I hope you guys like found this super valuable. And yeah, if you want to learn more about like the content scaling process of like converting viewers to buys, of course, then yeah, you can check me yourself. I'm going to be posting a lot more content in here, just absolutely cooking with it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace.